Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see the jump game problem. This is from LeetCode day 25 of the 30 days coding challenge. This problem is also known as the minimum number of jumps to reach end, but then this problem is a subset of this problem. So this problem is currently having lower constraints. So let us look at the problem statement. The problem here says that we are given an array of elements and we need to start jumping from the 0th index. So we need to return true if by jumping from this 0th index can we reach this last index. If it is not possible to reach, then we will return false. So in this case you can see that from this 0th index you can jump one step. So you reach this index 1. Now from index 1 you can take either 1 jump, 2 jump or 3 jump. So if you let's say take 3 jump, then you are reaching end. So in this case you will return true. There can be other possible paths as well. So if you take 1 jump from this, then you will reach this index 2 having value 2. From this part, you can take 2 jumps to reach end. Otherwise, if you take 1 jump, then you will hit this 0, and from 0, you can never jump. So the value at an array index is showing how many maximum number of jumps you can make. So 0 says that you cannot make any jump. Now let us look at the second example. In this case, from 0th index, you can make 1 jump. From this first index you can make either 1 or 2 jump. So if you make 1 jump, then from this index 2 you cannot make more than 1 jump and you will reach 0, so you cannot cross this index 3. Now if you make 2 jumps from this index 1, then you will also reach index 3, which is 0. So in this case you can see that you can never cross this index 3, so in this case you will return false. So I hope you got the problem statement now. So what can you observe from these two examples? You can observe that if the starting position is having value 0, then you will always return false. Since this starting index is saying you will make a maximum of 0 number of jumps. So you can never cross and reach index 1. So if you cannot reach index 1, then you can never reach the end index. Now let us see a very intuitive, recursive and backtracking solution. So in this case, what you will do is we will start from this starting index and we want to reach this ending index. So from index 0, we can make maximum of 1 jump. So we can reach this 3. Now from this index 1, we can make 3 number of jumps at max. So we can make a jump to this 2, we can make a jump to this 0, or we can make a jump to this 2. So if you are applying recursion or backtracking and writing a recursive code, then it may take a very long time, because from each of the position you will have to traverse through each and every possible path. So if you apply this method, then you will get time limit exceeded error. So this is not feasible for longer test cases. This is just for understanding. So how can we improve this solution? We can use either memoization or we can use DP to improve this solution. So I will not explain DP here. DP will be explained in minimum number of jumps to reach end in one of my future videos. So in this case, I will discuss a much simpler approach than the DP. So let us now analyze the problem even more. In this case, I have taken a longer example and I have represented the numbers in the form of peaks and valleys. So you can see that on the y-axis, if you move up, then your value at a given index increases, and if you move down, then your value decreases. So I have drawn a profile diagram for a better understanding. Now in this case you can see that from this starting position, 0th index, you can make maximum of 1 jump. From this index 1, you can make maximum of 1 jump. From this part, you can make 2 jumps, either to 2, or if you make a higher jump, then you reach to this 2. Then from this index, which is having value 3, you can make 3 jumps. So first jump can be to this 2, second jump can be to this 1, and the third jump can be to this 0, which is a valley. Now if you reach a valley, we cannot jump from the valley, that is from 0 values we cannot jump out. So this jump is not possible. Now if we make a jump to this 1, then from this part we can make maximum of 1 jump, so again we are reaching valley, and from this point 2 we can make maximum of 2 jumps, so again we are reaching valley. So in this case you can see that we are never able to cross this valley. So if you cannot cross a valley, then you can never expect yourself to reach to the end. So in this case, you will return false. So this profile diagram can let you do more number of observations. So let us see case 2. If we don't have any zeros, then we can always reach to the end. because we will have no valleys. And simply what we can do is we can just make one jump at each of the index, and since we know that there are no zeros, so we will obviously reach to the end. So this is another simple case. So how to find if we can cross a valley? The solution says that we need to capture the maximum projectile distance which can be reached. And why did I say projectile? Because if you recall from physics, then if you jump, then you will be jumping in a projectile motion, and probably if you jump in 45 degrees, then you will reach the maximum distance on ground. So we can apply the same observation here. Actually we do not need this 45 degrees, but then a similar type of approach. So what we need to do is, at any given point, we need to find what is the longest reachable distance. So let us see how this can be applied. From this index 0, we can reach a maximum reachable distance of index 1, and by the way, this reachable will always be 0 because this is our starting index. So we can reach a maximum of this index 1. So we are currently at index 0 and we can reach maximum of index 1. So since reachable is less than the maximum which can now be reached, so I will just update this reachable to 1. Now when we move to this index 1, then the maximum reachable distance is index 2. So this is index 2. Now since the previous reachable distance is just 1, which is less than this 2, so I will update this to value 2. Now when we move to this value 2, then a maximum reachable distance can be to this index, which is having a value 2. So this is index 4. Okay. Now since our current reachable distance is only 2, so I will update it to index 4. Now we move on to this index 3. Now from this index 3, we can make a maximum of 5 number of jumps. So if we make 5 jumps, then where will we reach? We will reach at index 8, that is at this one, 1. So from this part, we can make a jump to this 1. Now the previous reachable distance was only 4 and now it is index 8. So I will update it to index 8, saying that if we start from this starting index 0, then we can obviously reach this 8. Now we will process the next element, which is this index 4. From this index 4, we can make a maximum of 2 jumps. So where can we reach? We can reach this 0. So this is index 6. But then we can see that the maximum reachable distance already updated is index 8. This means that there is some point which is occurring previously, that is which is occurring to the left hand side of this 2, which allows us to make a longer jump. So we will not jump from this 2 but from that previous point. So we will not update this reachable. Now we will move on to the next point. This is index 5. From this 5 we can make a maximum of 1 length jump, which will lead us to index 6. So this index 6 is less than reachable. This indicates that there is some point on the left hand side of this index 5 which allows us to make a longer jump, and its reachability is even more than the current index 5. So we will not update any value of this reachable. So we now process the next index. It is 0. From 0 you cannot make a jump. From this 0 you cannot make a jump. And then we reach this 1. So this is having an index 8. From here you can make a maximum of 1 length jump. So we can jump to this index 9. And since this index 9 is having value higher than this 8, so we will update this reachable. And you can see that 9 is our ending index. So we have reached the final part, that is we have reached the ending index. Now this is the case where we reach this ending index. Now let us see a case where we will not be able to reach end. So if we change this 5 to 3, then we will not be able to reach end. So let us process the next example. This is the same example, only difference is at index 3 we have 3. So I will take the variable reachable, which will initially be 0, and I will process from this first index. So from this first index, maximum index which can be reached is this index 1, which is greater than reachable, so I will update it. Now I will be at index 1. From here I can reach maximum index 2. 2 is greater, so I will update this. Now from this index 2, I can reach a maximum of index 4. So 4 is larger, so I will update this to 4. Now from this index 3, I can reach a maximum of index 6. So 6 is larger, so I will update the reachability to 6. Now from this next index, we can reach a maximum of index 6. So 6 is equals to this reachable, so we will process the next value. Now from this index 5, we can reach a maximum of index 6. We are already at 6. so we will not update it. Now we are at 6. At 6 we cannot jump, so we will move on to the next point. Now at this point you can see that our reachability is only to 6. So if your pointer, let's say this is I pointer, so if your pointer crosses the reachable distance, then we will stop there and we will return false, saying that this part is not reachable from the starting position. So when we reach at 7, we will return false because our reachability is currently to 6 now. Okay, so we cannot go out of bounds, we cannot go beyond 6. So in this case we will return false. I hope you understood both the cases. Now let us see the code which I have written. Now this is a very simple code. Here we have received the nums vector. I have found the size of the vector and assigned reachable equals to 0, saying that our current reachability is only to this index number 0. So now I will start processing all the elements from the 0th index to nth index, that is the last index. Now if we find that reachability is lower than this index I, as I had shown you in this case, when we are at 7, then reachability was only to this index 6. So in this case reachability, that is reachable, is less than the current index I. So whenever this happens, then we will simply return false, saying that we cannot reach this ith index. Otherwise we will update this reachable distance to the maximum of the current reachable distance, comma, if we make a jump from the current index. So which one is maximum? We will take this in reachable. And finally, when we are done by processing all the elements, and if we have not hit this reachable less than I condition, this indicates that we have processed all the elements and the reachability was greater than equals to I at all the times. And when we have processed the ending index and reachability is greater than equals to I, that means reachability is greater than equals to this ending index. Therefore, we will return true without doing any checks. So the time complexity of this entire algorithm is just O(n), since we are doing this in just a single traversal, and the space complexity is O1 only. So I hope you were able to understand this solution, and this was a pretty simple solution. If you have any other solution in different languages or any other approach, then you can post it in the comment section below so that everyone can take benefit from it. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of this programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.